That is behind me. That's my spools, my thread,
Ah,
all my thread and stuff. For when I be sewing, which I've been on hiatus sewing lately. I haven't really sewn anything. The last thing I sewed, I made Chad like a bow tie and
ah,
square set uh for New Year's. Because he had to
okay.
preach on New Year's somewhere around there, December 27th. It wasn't for New Year's, but it was the end of 2019. So
Okay. I might need to take my glasses off. I see the glare.
that's why I took mine off, because they was doing the most. This bright
Ah,
light over here. But anywho, I wonder
all
do I
right.
need these headphones or if you're gonna be echoing or whatever.
Um, I got my headphones on. You can't see them because I got tucked in my shirt.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't have nothing on.
Well, apparently you sound fine without them. Okay.
Anyway, well, what's up? This Real Sister Friends Real Talk. So what we talking about tonight, sister friend?
Well, sister friend, I think we should introduce ourselves.
All right. Well, that sounds good. That sounds good. Well, I'm
All right.
Tasha Butler. Um, I'm just sister friend to this young lady right here that I'm talking to.
Oh, and I am Shanae Watlington, sister friend to Miss Montasha Butler. And we're just going to do real conversations.
For real.
Uh, yeah, we're going to probably hit a lot of topics that people may be afraid to address, but we are not.
Not at all.
And if they've been addressed, they're not going to be addressed the way that we're going to address them.
Not at
Mm.
all.
So, as you come with your glass of whatever it is, your Kool-Aid, your
Green
smoothie,
smoothie.
your green smoothie. She's doing the 10-day green smoothie. I'm
Shout
having,
out to JJ Smith.
yes, I'm having a little cocktail. And so, shout out to Stella Rose.
Well, all right.
Yes, ma'am. And so, I think today, since this is our first show, I think we discussed talking about just what's going on in America, this coronavirus. Are we taking care of ourselves mentally as well as physically?
Mm,
Self love, self care.
that
Because,
sounds good.
yeah, because
We
what
taking care of our neighbors. We taking care of one another. Um, you know, of course, I got a house full of folks, so I'm taking care of a lot of folks. It's like the whole neighborhood in my house. Um, everybody is not here at the house right now, but
yeah,
still, it's still a lot of us. It's still seven, 7 people. Um, my husband is not working full time right now. He's, of course, he works at the hospital, but his hours have been reduced because they want to kind of continue to uphold the stay at home order and everything like that. But his job is still an essential function. He's still uh, considered an essential worker, and which that's good. Um,
yes.
because he helps with a lot. His department helps with a lot, not just him, his department. Um, they have a lot of resources that are in high demand right now, you know.
And he actually is one of the vital people at the hospital outside of the physicians and nurses.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the ministry.
Right,
And people need that right now.
right.
And stepping into that role itself is almost I commend him because I don't know many people who would still be willing to step in, pray over these people, minister to them in this crisis, because it is a crisis, because a lot of people walking around living a normal life, and then it just all blew up in their faces
Mm-hmm.
and trying to bounce back from it. So,
Right.
you know, the nurses and the physicians, they're actually getting a lot of praise, which is deserved, but we also need to take a look at the janitorial staff.
Yes, housekeeping, patient
Yes,
transport, people
yes,
that's still in there cooking, the lab workers, you know,
the x-ray
blood bank,
technicians,
X-ray. Yes, yes,
and
all of those people.
even down to the registration, because you even
Oh,
still have to
yes,
register
exactly.
those patients into the hospital, and you have to be on the front lines with every one
Have
of
to be
these
in the room.
jobs. And, you know, they taking a risk every day that they go to work. And my hat is off to them right now. I mean, of course, we are healthcare workers ourselves in our own way. We work for the hospital.
Right.
And
I'm a
so,
former employee of the hospital.
yes, she is. And while we're touching on that, if you take a look at, I'm too short, but if you take a look at our shirts,
Yes.
there we have on "Do the Right Thing" shirts. And if
And
you
I'm
are,
flipped.
and if you are a part of the healthcare system that we work for, and Vantasha has worked for a long time, um, they know what that means. Do the right
Yes.
thing, or
D.T.R.T. Yes.
yes. And what that means is no matter what, no matter how busy, how much we can cut corners, if we wanted to, this do the right thing was implanted in our heads from working in the
Yes.
emergency room by a physician.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we all knew him for a numerous amount of years, and we may get emotional because just thinking about it. And this man never got upset, never had an ill word to anybody, helped patients, money out of his own pocket, buying medications, doing whatever. And his motto was do the right thing.
Yes.
And that's hard in this world we live in to every day practice that.
Mm-hmm.
And even in our regular lives, I believe that people who have these shirts and wear these shirts to this day, because these shirts are 8, 9 years old.
Very old.
And
Very old.
yes,
Probably 2010,
yeah,
2009, 2010, somewhere around there. I can't remember um, the date, but I'm sure, if any of the staff members, former staff members that we used to work with in the emergency department, or any current employees that are still in that location, if they that were there of that time, they will remember. Um, and a lot of times, it's a very thankless job. You know, even the administrative staff that works in the hospital, the secretaries, that voice that's on the other end of the line when you're calling for the nurse, that's a very thankless position. And a lot of times they're one of the first faces that you see. They're one of the voices that you hear the most. If you need something, they're not the person that always comes and meets the need, unless you're one of one of those um, that I used to call a secretary. Not just a secretary. You get a little teching in, you get a little housekeeping in too. You're gonna clean some rooms or whatever it is that's
right.
necessary to get the job done. And it all goes back to doing the right thing. It's really easy to get caught up in being selfish, especially in a critical time like right now, where we're dealing with a great epidemic going on all over the land, not just impacting one region or one area, but I mean the entire earth is being impacted by this situation right now, all at one time. And so, I mean, it's easy to be selfish because everybody wants to be well. They want their family to be well. They want the people that they love and care about to be okay. But it's real easy to not give a thought about, well, when I'm going and doing whatever I'm doing for me and mine, what about my neighbor? What about the guy down the
Right.
street that does not have transportation? Just like today, this gentleman, I usually don't catch him during the day when he's going to work. But I caught him today. I usually see him like late at night. Sometimes me and Chad will be sitting out, you know, we have a lot of kids, so we don't always have a lot of fancy date nights. But even during this time, we find a little a shortcut date. And our date is, hey, let's just go get ice cream. Let's run up the Bronx, go through the drive-thru, get an ice cream cone, a shake or whatever, and then just ride back home. And so we usually see this gentleman at nighttime, and he's usually walking from catching the bus to work, you know. And so I saw him today, and I'm like, and you know, he's walking around here, you know, I know he's getting ready to get on public transportation. I don't even know his name, but I'm like, sir, do you have a mask? Do you have anything? You know, they have encouraged everybody, if you go out, to use a mask, cover your face with something.
Yeah.
People really just don't have resources. You know, we have things that we need. You know, I see some of my neighbors, I see them coming and going, and so some of them have what they need. But when I'm going to the store, I see so many people, they're just out here, no gloves, no mask, no nothing, you know. And it's just like a scary thought that people don't have the resources. And when you look at the numbers, the statistics that they're giving out, these numbers that they're putting out here, I think in several places where African Americans, they make up only 30% of the population, but they're 70% of the people that are dying from this. That's very
Right.
concerning. And my concern is not for Black people only. It's not just for, I'm concerned about all the people. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if it's a racist person that does not like people that are my ethnicity. I don't care. I want them to be okay, because they have grandkids, they have loved ones, they have children. You know, I don't want their grandchildren to fear the loss of, oh man, my grandpa just died. He died in the hospital 14 days ago, and we're just getting notified. He died alone with this virus. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's a burden for not just one person or one class of people. It's for everybody, you know?
Yeah. Because one thing that we are slowly finding out, Corona doesn't
It
discriminate
does
at
not.
all.
It does
It's
not.
and it's taken out so many people. And I think the problem is, you know, from the beginning, it wasn't taken seriously. When you have
Right.
your leadership from the top, oh, it'll be gone, it'll be this way, it'll be that way. Well, it's not. And so many people kept living their lives as normal, and some are suffering, you
Mhm.
know, or they're not even here to actually, you know, tell us they could have done something better or anything, you know,
Right.
they're gone. And so the thing is, you know, even the young people to the old people, we need to take care of ourselves. Black, white, whatever. Take care of yourself. It's not a joke. I know you want to hang with your friends and you want to go out and do everything that you were doing before, but right now is not the time. We're just gonna have to wait. We're just gonna have to wait until it's over, and until everyone gets that mindset of that, this can go on to June, July. And who
Right.
wants to
Or
be stuck?
longer.
Yeah, who
Or
wants to be
longer.
stuck in the house until June or July or off work? Because I know just immediate people, they can't make it month to month without
A
working.
lot of people that can't make it week to week. It's people that
True.
can't make it day to day. I mean, what about people that depend on day labor? You know what I'm saying? It's people that depend on day labor, people that go to uh, agencies that have, okay, well, here's a little gig here, here's a little gig here. I mean, it's people that really live like that. And the sad reality is that most of us are not thinking about that. Most of us are not considering that. We're mostly, you know, just concerned about our own situation. You know, I even think about like, my kids go to school here in Garland ISD. And so, I was thinking about how, you know, the school district is providing school lunches for children Monday through Friday. They'll do breakfast as well as lunch. And so at first, when this first hit, I was just, we were just going on, doing our thing. And then I started thinking, like, what if everybody that has a child in the district, if like most of us did like I did and just said, well, I'm not going up there and doing that, because I mean, hey, we have food and stuff here at the house, you know, and so I'm like, well, it's not necessary. It's stuff they can eat here. And then I start thinking about it. It's like, okay, when people start losing their jobs, when they start saying that, okay, you got to stay at home. And that means even if you live in Dallas County, but you work in another county, if you live in Dallas County, then you can't go to work. And I start thinking, oh, shoot, wait a minute. What does that mean? What does that mean for people like the lunch ladies? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That they depend on that income. They're low, they have low pay. You know what I'm saying? They're probably, I mean, educators alone have pay that is not, I would say that it's not enough to compensate for what they're doing for our children, for the next generations, for every generation that comes after them. I think that they don't make enough. But what about the support staff, the lunch ladies? You know what I'm saying? The secretaries, all of that, the janitors, the bus drivers. So my thing is like, no, I told my kids, I don't care what's going on. Get up, they serve breakfast from this time. I don't care if you want to eat it or not. We're going to go up here and we're going to support what they're doing, because they're trying to be a support to the community and still continue to support children, because there's a lot of children, even families that are among the working poor, where they have children, and a lot of times it's hard to feed kids. We have 7 children, 5 that are in the home right now. And so, I mean, and we don't have, we have teens, tweens, and toddlers. So, and then 2 adults. So it's a lot. And so I could just imagine single parents, grandparents that are raising children, grandchildren, people that really don't have a lot of income, and they're just trying to make ends meet. They don't, buying groceries is a lot, and so hey, if that gets cut out, that Monday through Friday, the school district is providing meals. How many children in the community are going to go without breakfast, are going to go without lunch, if we're not supporting what efforts are being made so that people can be okay? So I mean, my kids, we're going to get breakfast and lunch every day. I don't care. And drink your milk. Don't just drink the chocolate kind. Drink the white one too. I was like, eat everything. I don't care if you want it or not. Eat it. Eat it anyway.
And you touched on a very important point, because even though you may not need it in your household, or many others don't, some households, those are the only meals that some of these kids are actually getting is at school. So if you guys don't actually go participate in that, then they may say, hey, we don't need that, to do this. It's not enough. And then those few kids, that are needing those meals, they're going to go without. And it's already hard enough for these families to get the type of benefits and assistance, because what they consider is you make too much money is technically not enough to support that household. Mm-hmm. And so we gotta, you gotta think in the long term of, well, I guess I shouldn't say the long term. I guess you should think outside of yourself. Yes. And your situation and what you have going on. And it may not seem like a whole lot, but at the end of the day, if you start putting pieces together to everything, you'll say, this fits, it makes sense, and this goes that way. Because I was reading on the internet over here in Flower Mound, they just cut, I think, 140 workers. And that's in the school district as well. They're city employees, because they don't have any resources to pay them. Mm-hmm. And because since the restaurants and everything are closed, they're not having dine-in services or whatever. Apparently, whatever monies that they have coming in or deemed to come in to make the salary, I guess, whatever they project or whatever, they don't have enough to meet that. And so there you go, 30 days of furlough for these people. And if they don't have enough vacation and sick time and that, they're not getting paid, or they're going to have to wait till unemployment kicks in. That's up to 4 weeks for some people.
And many people are trying to apply for unemployment and they're having trouble getting into the system.
Yep.
They're having trouble even processing the applications. So
Yep.
it's just so much, but this time is one where, everybody really needs to draw together, when you have loved ones or people that you fall out with or don't get along with. You never know. You know what I'm saying? Right now is the time to, kind of connect, try to bond a little bit better, to connect a little bit better, because you never know. And then you don't ever want to live with a life of regret. Well, I could have done better. I could have did this, so I didn't get a chance to say goodbye. Or, maybe I could have made a phone call and see if they need anything, and I could have helped them with something that would have helped, preserve them a little bit longer, or whatever. It's just a time to be selfless and try to give a little bit more of yourself to somebody else. Like I know it's many people that, for us, of course, my husband is a minister. I'm active in ministry with him. Whatever he's doing, I'm right there along with him. And I know that everybody is not of the same faith that I am. But still, I don't care if you're not of the same faith that I am. It's still my charge. I take personal responsibility, to try to be, just be good, show some good to others. Like my mom and dad, they live almost 200 miles away. But I'm still like, do y'all have everything y'all need? My mom was calling and she's like, well, do y'all have food? Do y'all have this? Are y'all lacking anything? Even I talked to my sister today and I'm like, hey, do y'all have this and do y'all have that? And you think sometimes, hey, oh, well, they're fine. They, they're good. They're this, they're that. But you never know really what a person's situation is until you really dig a little deeper,
And that's true.
And that just requires just a little bit of yourself, a little bit of compassion, showing a little bit of your humanity, to just ask, are you okay? You know what I'm saying? Then I even had my kids this week. I'm like, no, let's reach out. Let's get on the phone. Let's reach out to some aunts, uncles, like my mom. She's the youngest of 15, which of course right now, only my aunts are surviving. My uncles have all passed away. Her parents have passed away. And so there's 10 of them. She's a baby. So she has 9 sisters that are still living. They're all elderly, And I'm like, hey, people don't realize that suicide rates, elderly, and there are high numbers of suicides happening among the elderly. And I had to explain to my kids, and they're like, what? That doesn't make sense. And they were thinking that, oh, well, it's probably like teenagers, people that are, in their 30s, 20s. No. And I'm like, elderly. Think about it. When you get a certain age, your parents have passed away. If you have siblings, they're probably passing away. Friends you went to school with, people that you work with, once people retire, their health and stuff, it starts to decline. When they reach like retirement age, health starts to decline. You may have been able to drive. You may have been driving since you were 15, 16 years old or younger, but now you're 75 and they've told you that you can't see as well, so you can't drive anymore. So things that have been there and place in your life that brought you joy, that made you feel fulfilled, they're no more. So, hey, let's get on the phone. Let's write a letter to somebody. I had them send letters to their grandparents. Hey, send letters to the grandparents to make sure they're okay, because we haven't seen them. You don't know, just that little simple thing. It doesn't have to be lengthy. It doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out letter. You can just say, hey, I'm thinking about you. How are you? And write the mailman a letter. Write that letter carrier a letter and let them know that you're thinking of them, because it's hard. I used to be a letter carrier. My mom was a letter carrier for about 15 years. That is a hard job. It's a hard job. And the thing about it is, like, these people out here really risking it. You know what I'm saying? They don't know where that mail has been. You know what I'm saying? Just think about people licking envelopes. Like, people still do that. People still do it. I have glue sticks for that. I'm not licking the envelope at all. I don't even wet it. No, just put a glue stick on it and send it on its way. You know, but I mean, like, things like that, it doesn't take a lot. Just the simplest gesture can brighten somebody's day. In the first letter that the kids put out for the mailman, because I had them doing, you know, on different days. So he might get a letter from one, like the first letter was from Kayla. And so, like, I just happened to be coming back in the house because I had gone out to check to see, okay, well, has the mailman run yet? So I was going to place another letter out there. And so I looked, the letters were still out there. So I ran and grabbed another letter and put it in the box and was coming back in, but he was coming down the street. So when he made it to my house, I just stood there at the door, you know, so I could just tell him thank you if I could get his attention. But, like, I just watched him. And he looked so, like, the look on his face was so solemn. And when he pulled up, you know, and he had just gotten through speaking to another neighbor, but he just seemed so, he just seemed so heavy, you know. And so I just watched, and when he pulled that letter out, he pulled the mail out, because I had mail that was going out, you know, but he saw the letter from my baby. She had drawn like a rainbow on there, colored the whole envelope and all this other stuff. He smiled so big when he got the letter. And I was just like, oh, it just touched my heart, because I was just thinking, you know, you never know what a person is dealing with. He could have been like, hey, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm about to walk off this job, and I'm not telling my wife, or what, you know, you just never know. And he could have been in a situation where, hey, I'm about to end this out because I'm going to die anyway. I'm out here risking it, anything. You just never know. But just, you know, I just encourage everybody to be your best self during this time, and offer a little bit of your best self to somebody else. Every day. Just a little bit.
And it doesn't take much. A phone call, a conversation, a letter, like you said. I mean, it's just minor things that can mean so much to people.
Right.
And, you know, I'm giving myself, I cook for my brother. And it's funny because how it ended up coming about is when all of this first started, my brother went to the grocery store. It was nothing. It was absolutely nothing. Like, and I had went before, and this was like, at this time, it was just toilet paper and paper towels and cleaning supplies that were gone, and probably the water. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at all this people running around and going crazy. I was like, well, I ain't coming back. So I just did my shopping early and just stacked my freezer or whatever. So luckily, with me doing that, I had enough food. And so I told my brother, I'm like, okay, we can just cook together or whatever. Because I think he found like a pack of chicken breast. That was it, some chicken breast. And I don't even eat chicken. So I'm like, well, I'll cook it for you, but you can. I know.
Like, so, how do you not eat chicken, girl? Come on now.
My mother fed it to me too much, and now I don't have to eat what she make me eat anymore.
Girl, that's why I'm about hamburger helper. I'll be like,
Yeah.
Not to eat it, I'm not.
Too much of that in college. That was a staple meal. I can make a
hamburger helper.
Hamburger helper casserole. Girl, I can make anything from that, because you know when you pour, you start getting creative. Real
when
creative.
Times be real hard, you ain't have hamburger helper, you had the Pan-burger partner.
Oh no, that is hilarious. Hilarious. No.
And for anybody that see this and y'all think I'm making that up, Pan-burger partner is
no.
a thing.
Yes, it really is.
Was a thing. Yes, it was.
Really, they had the OJ glove. No, we stop. Girl, it didn't fit because they had Hamburger Helper had that white,
Yeah,
the
the little
cute
smiley
glove.
glove.
Yeah, the pen,
Cute face on the glove.
you hear it?
Nah,
That one had the
that Panda
OJ. It
partner.
didn't fit.
Are you crazy?
No, but
Mm-mm-mm.
yeah, and I work from home, so luckily I can prep and cook and start stuff, before I start working and check it, put it in the crock pot, put it in the oven or whatever. And you know, do I want to cook? I don't cook every day. I'm gonna just say that I
Mm.
don't. I don't cook every day for myself,
Me either.
but I cook every other day. He trust me, he's not missing any meals. He has not lost any weight, and you know, I know that he's appreciative because he has to go to work. He's one of the essential people out here. So he goes out and he comes in. I have his little food ready. He go home and that's my help for them. And then, I have my daughter, I have my son's girlfriend and my grandson. Like, she didn't have toilet paper.
Oh, the
She
toilet
could,
paper. Girl.
yeah, no, she couldn't find toilet paper. And still, and that was 3, 4 weeks ago. She
Mm.
still have not found toilet paper.
Now that whole
But
toilet paper thing, that right there, nothing else in this process really ticked me off besides the toilet paper hoarders. Like,
yeah,
I'm still kind of upset with y'all. Like, I'm asking the Lord to help me and forgive the toilet paper hoarders because, like, one day I went to 6 different stores. Six. 6 stores. I went to Kroger. I went to Albertsons. I went to $2 Generals. I went to a Dollar Tree and a Walgreens. And you know what I can come up with? 3 boxes of Scotty's facial tissues. Okay? That's it. That's all they get. I said, now listen,
Jesus.
y'all better listen. That toilet paper that's left in there, y'all better use it sparingly because listen, y'all gonna have one of these little, okay? So, if we can't find no toilet tissue, hey, best of luck with
Yeah.
these Scotties. Thank God we didn't have to come. We didn't have to use the Scotties. We didn't have to get with the Scotties. So I'm talking about wasn't no Kleenex, wasn't no Plus
Nothing.
Plus, Scotties. I ain't never even heard
Yeah.
that brand before.
I had neither, but hey, Scotty's would have got used because at this point, you know, I was talking with someone. I was like, because I'm particular about. I like a certain brand of toilet paper. I
Me
like
too.
this, and I like that. But in this time, it's like you got Angel Salt. You got Great
Girl, I
Value.
don't care
You got
what it is.
you got I bought some that just said bathroom tissue. That's all it said. Bathroom there. Put it right on in the car. This is gonna do something.
Okay,
And
listen.
and you
It
know,
doubled it up.
yeah, I think this kind of made people humble themselves. I was a little bougie about my toilet paper. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, now I'm just like I'm taking whatever I can get. What you got? I'm going to use it. I'm not gonna complain at all. And
I'm not
so
that particular about the toilet paper, except for, well, I am kind of. I like to get the, okay, I'm a little bougie though. Let me say that then. Because I like the toilet paper that they sell at Dollar Tree. It's a little brand that they sell at Dollar Tree, and it's like it doesn't leave the residue. I don't like that. I know Charmin be having them commercials, but they be lying.
girl,
The
that's
Charmin would
lint.
have you with the dusty cheeks.
Yes,
Nobody like that.
lint buildup.
Okay, yes. And so I I can't find it anymore. So it's just whatever. I use Angel Soft or whatever, as long as it's not the one with them little granny flowers and the lavender scent. Like,
No,
girls don't be needing no perfume toilet paper. Like, we don't
no.
need that.
Throwing pH all off balance.
Way, way.
Yeah. But I mean, this has really made people humble themselves a little bit because I ain't gonna lie, because I was like, ooh, I can't get no quilted northern. I no what? The 3-ply? I can't get that. I can't.
What happened to the extra cushiony soft?
I know. I like wiping my behind on cushiony soft. Now I'm just hoping I can just wipe it with some
Okay,
toilet paper.
listen, we ain't gonna do like what a bird in the woods do, whatever they do. We ain't trying to
No,
do that.
no, not at all. Before I got backups to the backup. I was like,
No, that's
I'm
right.
gonna use this. I have wipes. I got it all the way down how it's
Yeah.
gonna fall before I just have to start making some preparations over here. Cause the old people back in the day, it's like, you just do like we used to do, just use a washcloth. Well, no, I'm not gonna be able to do all of that. No, no, no,
No,
no,
no, Granny, no,
no,
Auntie.
not at all.
No.
But I can say that I'm really glad to see all of my family and friends um, well. Now, my sister has been quarantined, but she hasn't had the test, but she's staying away from everybody for 14 days. And so I know her, and then I have a friend from from back home. Her son has it, and but I think he's on the upside.
Okay.
So, now when at first, and this is with anybody, even myself, and I take stuff a little bit like I heard them. No, I ain't going outside. I stayed in. But you was like, well, we'll be okay. We'll be all right or whatever. But I think it really starts to hit home when you see someone you know that has it, because you could say, oh well, Tom Hanks and his wife, I don't know them,
Don't know them, so it's
so
not
it
real.
does. Yeah, it's not real to you until you see someone that crying and begging to feel better in front of your face. And so without, when you see that, it hits home, and and it makes you feel like now we need to take it serious. But then the question is it too late for some people?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people still out here running around and running up in Walmart because they're bored, lollygagging around. And that's why I was reading also that they were talking about closing different areas like electronics and the clothing
Right.
departments in Targets.
Oh no,
And
don't close it. We still need drawers and bras and stuff, y'all. Come on. Don't need
well,
socks and
they,
stuff. We need goods. We
well,
still need clothing.
now I read this. I don't know how true it is for our area, but I think in Vermont they were saying that they already closed it because people were leaving home, going to Walmart, walking around, browsing electronics and the clothing area because they're bored to get out the house. So they closed those areas so people can't go there. And at the when you said underwear and bras and stuff like that, well, I guess you can't order the stuff online, but if you need it immediately, you have to wait them 2 days. You better air them and wear them for
Well,
2 days.
you're at home anyway, so hey,
Yeah.
fly free, girls. Fly free.
Yes. And so it's like, okay, and that's sad that they're having to close up so many things just to keep people in the house. But you got to do what you got to do at this point, because
Listen, I
otherwise,
hope it ain't my Christian brothers and sisters out there acting crazy. Come on, saints. Come on, church. Obey the law of the land. It's in the word. It's in Romans. Check the good book. Obey the law of the land. Obey the
and
law
for,
of the land.
and
Now,
for
if
my
we gonna believe God and trust God for healing and stuff, those of us that are of that faith, we gonna trust and believe God for healing and protection. But listen, that word in Romans say that those in government that are appointed over us, they have rule over us. We're supposed to obey the law of the land because it's God that has appointed them. So,
And I'm gonna talk to my heathens that got their little house built on the outside of heaven. Let me take my sip on that one. I'm gonna need y'all to stay in the house too. We know right from wrong. We just choose not to. what she said. It's in Romans. I can't tell you what else she said, but I know that it's in there. I done heard it
Is
before.
it Romans the
But
13th chapter?
yeah, I know it's in there because I done heard it before. I don't know all where everything is at, but I done heard it before besides today. And stay at home. You
Stay
know,
at home. So listen though, the faster we stay at home, the longer we stay at home. You know what I'm saying? Be patient with this thing. The faster we can be able to leave home.
yeah,
And I miss my mom and them. So shoot, hey, I'm tired of
yeah.
Facebook with my mom and them. I want to go down there, drive down there to East Texas, get in that little red dirt. Y'all stay at home. Stay at home.
Yes, please.
You know what I'm
It's
saying? I was
okay.
talking to my mama yesterday on the phone, and she was like, "Oh, girl, I order my groceries." Okay, you order your groceries online. Now you order groceries on Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever it was. I don't remember. Your groceries won't be available till Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Like what? You know what I'm saying? And my mom is having to order stuff. They only have two, really like three stores down there in the town that she lives in. They have a Brookshire's, they have a Kroger, they have a Walmart.
Mm.
And then they have a Dollar General that's right there. But like my mom had to drive like 25 minutes just to get to the store. You know what I'm saying? If it's
Oh,
the Dollar General is the closest store to her house. And that's like at least it's probably like 3 miles away. You
oh,
know? So I'm like, come on,
yeah,
people. And I didn't even realize it was like that for my mom and dad. I didn't realize how much of an inconvenience it was for them, you know, just trying to get groceries. And so she's like, well, oh, I need some ground meat. I need this, just naming little things. Oh, I have to get these items from Walmart. I ordered this stuff from Brookshire's and I ordered this stuff from Kroger. And I'm like, really? I just didn't
yeah,
realize that, you know? And it's just like, I don't know. We take for granted so many of the little conveniences that we have in life. And this time for me has really been a big reality check. Big
yeah.
reality check.
But on a good note, I will say this. I've been training for this moment. Uh,
Really?
I have been training for this moment for a long time because my Amazon order game was so strong.
You say so, Mel.
Oh, it was
I
so
was really
strong.
trying. Oh, listen, I thought you were really finna get ready to, you know what I'm saying, drop some knowledge. Like if you think you got the COVID, these are the things you need to do. You know what I'm saying? I just finna drop some knowledge on us. Girl, you talking about your get your click finger.
My
Uh-uh.
one click game is strong. And even I will say this, my laziness has finally paid off because I was I'm just gonna say because no, they are my kids, they laugh because I always had an abundance of like toilet paper and trash bags
They
and
call it when
soap.
they need a roll, ain't it?
Yeah, and laundry detergent. And the thing is because I don't like to run out, and then I don't like to always run to the store all the time. So I'll buy
Right.
for a month and a half. Well, luckily, before all this had went down, I had replenished my
Uh-huh.
stock, and I had two bathrooms, so I had got one because the guests they good toilet paper, but they don't get the quilted
Oh,
northern in
wow.
there. So the thing is that I was able to give my brother some because he couldn't find any. My daughter and my daughter, but she ended up having some. And then my son's girlfriend, because her and Elijah, yes, they do need toilet paper. So,
Right.
I said, and I still have quite a bit left. It can last me into May. I was
Yeah,
like, if
praise
I
the
need,
Lord.
I know, but I said I've been training for this moment. That's why I said I've been waiting. All of this, I knew it was gonna pay off. I didn't know it was gonna be in this type of situation, but I knew it was gonna pay off. And so now, nobody is saying nothing about my Amazon ordering game. Now, nobody is
They was
not
saying, Mama,
saying.
do you have some
Yeah, now it's like, oh, I'm so glad that you have all of this. Oh yeah, but when you saw them packages rolling in, Mama, you ordering for Amazon again? Yeah. Now, don't anybody say anything about my Amazon ordering because it has paid off. And it helps me be able to do my part. Because if somebody I see, or even my friends say they don't have no toilet paper, I can drive them on. I can't come in now. I can sling. You hear? I sling you a pack like the
Catch it.
mail, like the newspaper
I'm trying to
carrier,
tell you.
and up there. But I got you. We got this. So I don't know. So let me ask you, Montasha.
Yeah.
Let's see. So while we have been in quarantine, what have you been doing to occupy your time, keep your mind sane, and because you're there with the babies, with the squad, and
um,
so just
what I've
let
been
us know.
doing. Well, of course, I'm in school right now, so I took a full load um for the spring. So I mostly been, just trying to uh first of all just encourage the kids, hey, guys, I know it's hard. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult. You just didn't I've been trying to make it as pleasant as possible for them. I'm saying because of course we have a blended family, um, and one of our baby girls that's here, she has joint custody. Mom has joint custody, and so she's used to going back and forth with her family. You know what I'm saying? She has part of the week she's there with mom, part of the week she's here, and like she came home for spring break, and then she didn't get to go back. She didn't get to just get in the news that, oh man, like, I can just imagine like what plans, she may have had with her mom or with her family or whatever they do when she's with her other family. Um,
Yeah,
over spring break, what plans they had. And then it's like, wait a minute, I'm not okay, we're gonna get an extra week out of school. Okay, well that sounds good. Yeah, I'm all for it. But wait, I can't go to my mom's house. No, you can't go nowhere. You kind of stuck,
yeah,
and it's like, and then like my husband he just let her know last night that one of her cousins is in the hospital in the ICU with COVID-19. And so I'm like, oh my God, so that on top of everything else, it's really just been a real rigorous routine of trying to keep their spirits up and make sure they're okay, make sure they're getting their work done, and then just make sure they don't feel like, I can just imagine, because like I have like my baby girl that was just talking about, Kayla, and then my other daughter, my next oldest daughter, Kaylee, uh they're both transitioning. This is their last year at the schools they were at. And you know what I'm saying? So one is transitioning from elementary school to middle school. The other is transitioning from middle school to high school. Okay, so I'm just like, and it's
yeah.
like so final, like those friends that I'm not gonna get a chance to see those friends to say goodbye. Those teachers that, you know, that I was in class with, my favorites or whatever, I'm not gonna get to see them again. And then, I have one of them, they kind of got in a little bit of trouble, they didn't make the best decision at school. And is really weighing on them that, oh my goodness, I may have left with a bad impression and I can't go back and fix that. But the thing about it is that you just try to encourage them. You know what I'm saying? Just try to encourage them. And then, and the thing about it is I think that, because 2-year-olds, they do a whole lot of stuff. And so I think that them being able to see them and spend time with them, it's helping to lighten it up a little bit. But and then one of them is doing the online portion of his driver's training. He's not doing the actual driving yet, but he's learning all the other stuff. And so they have some things going on, but I'm just trying to just find a balance. And it's funny that I'm sitting up here in this area where I usually sew at, because I haven't been sewing. Like I said, I haven't been sewing. And so I really just been focused on just figuring things out, working on the ministry stuff, working on this venture that we have going on. just trying to get it together and stay sane in the process. But my biggest thing, I'm trying to get this hair to grow out of this teensy weensy stage.
Girl, your hair is cute. I was over
Grow
here, look.
past this teensy weensy stage, girl. Oh my gosh. And so other than that, that's it. You know,
Yeah.
try not to you know, try not to be a baby boomer in 2020 in December
You
when you
don't
don't have
have
nothing like that. Cause that's why I be thinking about like how many babies is gonna be born at the end of the year.
how many
Babies.
corona comitas.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Can't believe that. You seen that?
Yes,
Oh my God.
girl. I would never. I don't care what. No,
See,
no.
and see, that's the part. I remember how I don't want to deal with people. It's the kind of
No,
stuff that make me
maybe
feel like
they.
I don't want to deal with people. But you have to. You can't avoid it. You
Yeah,
have to.
Corona and COVID. Come here, Corona and COVID.
Well,
This
when
is
I read, I seen that. I was in. You know what? Well, you know what I said. I ain't gonna say what I said. You know what I'm saying? And
and,
any brothers and sisters out here know. Oh Lord, thank goodness.
oh Jesus, girl. And the thing is that, well, luckily, well, I'm gonna say no kids in 2020 for Nene. No,
Well, listen, my tube's tied, but
no.
I have been known to be fertile myrtle. I got a depot baby. I don't want to be in the 1%. I don't want to be in the 1%. So,
Girl.
I'm trying to be like hands off. We having a hands off marriage right now. Hands off as much as possible. But
Well, I don't have a significant other right now, but I guess, like I said, with my little house on the outside of the gates of heaven, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm just a saint. But yeah,
we are not. Nobody
no,
is.
no. You hear? I'm not gonna do. You hear? Shit.
Cause
I'm
listen,
the.
I got a word for that. You know what I'm saying? All of us is over here also holy, baby. Even our righteousness is as filthy rags. That's what the word
Oh,
says. So,
girl, go on and tell them. Go on ahead and put it out there for them, because I don't know the words. I'm just here for it. You hear? You hear? I can't. You hear? I'm the Christian that don't know the Bible, because what they say, the devil know the Bible front was and backwards. I don't know it. I just
that's what they be
adhere.
saying.
You hear
Yeah, they
that?
say it.
Yeah, I just adhere to what it is. I don't know it. It's too much in there. But no, this is actually, hopefully, this is a good time for people if they were having bad situations in their relationships and marriages. Hopefully, this is the time
Right.
they can put that they have time to pull together and right some of the things that's wrong in their relationships. That's the hope. Now, there's going to be situations where you're in the house stuck with a person that you realize you just don't like now. I don't like you. You've got to get up out of here as soon as this
Glad I like
point.
my people.
Yeah, because the hard thing is that, just imagine, you think you really care about somebody, but you don't know everything it is, because y'all really not spending that time. And now you stuck in the house with this person. You don't even really like them. Like, I
Got
don't
to
even.
be more careful.
Yeah. So hopefully it's not situations like that. I don't want to be that person, but you have to be realistic.
Hey, this
There,
real talk.
yeah, you
So
have to be realistic. There are
those are real life
situations.
situations.
Yeah, I've been there before. Like, I look at
Whew.
I don't like you. Well, you hear I don't, and you got to go. So,
And if you don't, I will.
yeah, somebody's leaving here.
In a
And
hurry.
so, yeah, but hopefully it can strengthen relationships more than, damage them. And they end up, I want people to make it. I believe in love. A lot of people, I say I don't want to do the marriage thing or whatever. And it's nothing against it. I love it. It's just may not be for me, or I'm not going to sit here and put a lot of stock into it, trying to run to the finish line, trying to get there. Because if it's for me, it's going to be for me. And I don't have to rush it. I don't have to actually try to make it happen. It's going to happen. I'm not going to be able to run from it. So,
Right.
yeah. So I'm hoping that's what it is because, you know, a lot of people are going around, this is the time you can get stuff done. There are people out there that work 40, 60, 80 hours a week. For those people, I'm hoping they're getting a rest. You know, this is
Mm-hmm.
their time to rest, re-up
Right.
their body, you know, recoup their bodies, you know, just get themselves together and don't feel like you being lazy. You know, feel like you are getting the break that you need because you need it.
Right.
Like you definitely need it. And so, with that being said, do what works for you. If you a busybody and you feel like you need to be out here working and work yourself to the bone and all of that, you do that. But leave the other people alone who has worked themselves until till they tired. Just let them get this break
Right.
because you best believe when game time we can hit the streets, they're gonna be right back out
Everybody gonna be
here.
grinding.
Yeah. And it's just something that's gonna happen. But never make a person feel bad, for not doing what you're doing.
Right. Right.
Because
Right.
everything is not for everybody.
Right.
And with that being said, I work two jobs, but I never say everybody else need to do it. You do what works for you, and I'll do what works for me. And so, yeah, luckily, some people don't have to do that, and I'm glad for that. And with that being said, if you may have one job that's stressful, way more stressful than my two. So if you do that and you have this time where you can sit and relax, do that. And don't let anyone make you feel bad about it either.
Right.
I'm just that's my words for everybody during this time. But if you got some free time and you want to pick up a new hobby, a new hustle, or whatever it is, I commend you and I wish you well on whatever it is. And so, what else you got, Miss Tasha?
Girl, I don't know. I guess we can get ready to wrap it up. But I guess the other thing I want to say, I mean, if any viewers, if anybody views this, you have any questions for us, this will be uploaded to the YouTube page. Drop some questions and answers in the comments, and we'll answer your questions. Um, and we give us some things that you want to hear us talk about, and we'll talk about them.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you know,
What's the email? You or y'all can email the questions. You got the email? You got the
um,
email.
I
Oh,
do. 1 second, if I'm a step
yeah.
away, and I go get it. Hold
All
on.
right. All right. All right. All right. Yeah, but we'll be giving that information out. You know what I'm saying? We'll be getting together, I guess, weekly. Um, and just to have a real conversation. We'll share our story of how we became the real sister friends. Um, at some point, I don't know when, but this is usually just what we do. We just get on the phone, we have a conversation, we talk about a lot of stuff, and hey, and one day we said, "Girl, let's just record these conversations we be having." And what do you think? And so that's how we even came up with this whole idea to do this. So if you had an email, you can send your question and answer questions to the email, things that you would like to talk about or you would like to hear us talk about, give our perspective on it. And of course, we're not experts at anything but being real sisters and real friends having real talk.
Yeah, and I guess. Oh, also, what I was gonna say too. This is our first time. This is like our first thing. We wanted to kind of do an introduction. You can kind of get our style, how we do it, and just from here on out, know that we're gonna have topics. It's just not going to be us on here rambling. We're going to have some real stuff to talk about. But today is kind of an introduction to our new channel and pretty much and our craziness, our faces. You know who we are, but definitely be ready because we're gonna bring some things because yeah, because even now, I was just thinking about dropping a little tidbit because we do have people who are out, they are furloughed from their job, or they may have just, lost their job completely because there are some people that's been laid off.
Right.
And so I will be providing some possible work at home opportunities, because, yeah, because there are companies out here that you can work from home, and do this because I know some people have children and they probably can't afford to send them to daycare, or some of these daycares are actually closed. So we can provide, yeah. So I thought about that today and I was like, I can get some information because I'm always searching and looking for things. I don't know why, but I do. And it can be helpful to some people. So what you think?
That sounds good to me. I'm all on board for helping however I can help, whoever you can help anybody. Be a help to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Do more with your time in the earth than just take up space and oxygen. Spend some time serving somebody else instead of serving yourself. That's how I feel about it. All right, girl.
All right,
I guess when the next time we're gonna get together? Same time?
Same time, same place, I guess.
All right, sounds good. Well, we'll talk in a week.
All right. Until then, be blessed. Bye.